You know, all this time I've been on the preview talking, I didn't know I wasn't live. That's crazy. But like I was saying, I'm waiting for Mr. Saeed because he made a statement concerning. He made a statement concerning me making being civilized equivalent to being passive. And like I was saying, while that's a ridiculous statement to make, it is important to define what I mean when I say that. Am I throwing y'all off too? Was y'all looking goddess divine Allah. That's you. Why you laugh? Why you laugh? Why you laugh? King Green, I just seen you. Peace. So what you gotta say, goddess? I noticed you got the God part capitalized. Oh, see, I ain't got no moderators. I get rid of you. Urban Gorilla, peace, black man. I like that. What you manifested about that. See, that's why it's important not to be changing the lessons. So that, see, even though, you know what I'm saying, we don't know each other, we ain't been around each other, see, we still see the same picture. See, a lot of people, they say they have their own understanding, but I don't really agree with that. Because see, if just like, look, if you go to somebody's house, right, and they don't look like none of the people in there, then it might make you wonder, like, yo, is something going on here? Like, you adopted or something? Like, look, even twins, they're not identical. When we say identical twins, is one that's a little taller or one that's a little more husky or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? But because they came from the same knowledge and wisdom, it still looks similar.
It's 12 o'clock.
Understanding mean to see. So if we looking at the same thing and I see an elephant and you see a teacup, one of our vision is off. So I understand what people are saying. See, we all see understanding for ourselves. I mean, like, see, the things that I manifest on here, I tell people, look, go research that for yourself, too. So you see that understanding for yourself. But when we look at it, it's just like, look, if I put any object up right here, I got my hand. Now, if I describe what I see, right, it's not going to be exactly the same as if you describe what you're seeing right now, right? But what's going to happen is that we're going to be able to see that, hold up, that's similar. You saying you looking at something where it's like a thing and then 5 things is coming off it. But where you see it, it looks dark. And the way I see it, it looks light. See, we're going to be able to put our understanding together and see that what we're looking at is really the same thing. But if you're looking at an elephant and I'm looking at a teacup, one of our understanding is off. Or we ain't got the same knowledge and wisdom. But that's another issue. We waiting on my favorite righteous Muslim right now, Saeed al-Bilali. I got a promotion for him. I'm about to promote him. What's the sign? Where you from, King Green? No doubt, each one teach one. When I was getting the knowledge, all of us was responsible to teach 9 brothers. And we all had to be like Allah. But even if you just teach one, use about your business. Infinite Mind. Yeah, nah, I'm waiting on Saeed, man. I'm waiting on Saeed, man. He was making a comment about me saying, me equating civilization with being passive. You see, this is what people, a lot of times they say about us, but see, like I said, it's because you dealing with extremism. We not with the nonviolence, and we not with the militancy. We about self-defense, man. We not about nonviolence. We not about militancy. We about self-defense. And see, that's pretty well established. So when people say passive, I have to question. See, a lot of times there's people who's the most militant, they the people that have been in the least amount of drama on any level. See, they don't understand. See, like right now, all the people that come on here, right, they do the knowledge, they listen to me, right? All the people I taught, whatever. I love those people. I'm not going to send them on no suicide mission. What are they thinking? When I look like doing something, like you see me in the other video, right? And I'm in there with the kids. Would I look like doing something that's going to cause some type of retaliation when I'm in there with people's kids, people bringing their kids to come sit? People, see, you got to think everything about what we doing, man. You start talking all that smoke. It makes me wonder, see, because look, it's the same thing I tell somebody in the street. Yeah, you keep saying that. I hear you saying that over and over and over, but the dude is right there. And ain't not a hair on his head been harmed. And the longer you talk, the less. I mean, do you really do you really want that smoke? She asked the people that been there, the people that's been locked up, been in riots. You know what I'm saying? With COs, right? They telling you, yo, look, stay out of there. Don't do what I did to get in there. Don't put yourself in a situation where you have to deal with that. That's the people that dealt with something would tell you. Infinite Mind said, why don't he go and question his mystery God the way he questioned you? See, because he loves me. That's why I love him. I love Saeed. Listen, I was just telling the brothers before you came in, I'm about to give Saeed a promotion. As soon as he comes in, I'm gonna give him promotion. He's gonna like it. King Green said, I tell my nephews that same thing. I'm trying to prevent them from going down the wrong path. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like we saying let these kids have a chance to live and learn. And then maybe because all that smoke you talking like saying, listen, man, who does that? Who does that? Who just announces, yeah, we gonna be coming for that smoke. But we ain't ready yet. But we gonna be coming for that smoke. Yeah, all right. Yeah. See, King Green said that energy that you put in the world. See, because it's just, look. In everything you do, right? It's like, look. The brothers that's in the penitentiary, right? They, it says it in the Constitution that slavery is in jail. I said on another video. So when you look at the conditions that they dealing with in there, you know what I'm saying? And it's like they dealing with some of the worst aspects of the oppression. But you know what takes away from the oppression? You know what makes that oppression, like, in the minds of other people, in the minds of just the average person, you know what makes the oppression look not that bad? Is what the people did to get in jail. When you doing devishment too, when you doing certain things too, you take away from the devishment what's happening. You can't you know what I mean? You blaming the person, but look what you doing. You becoming a part of it. You participating in it. And once you participating, then you just ratting when you start talking about what everybody else is doing. That's why you always gotta clean up your own house. It's like the God said, you gotta see what the God said. Look, the energy that you put in the world will come back to you. You look, and whoever know 120 in here, right? I want you to listen to this carefully. What the God just said, right? The energy that you put into the world will come back to you. So you got to understand what you build. Yo, look. Divine El Lavi, stop cursing in the live. See, this is what I'm talking about. We gotta be civilized. How I get that out of there? Delete. delete your comment or something. I figured something out now. You delete certain people. I inspired you to do some work similar to what I'm doing. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I really want to do. Like, I don't need 100,000 people. Like, the people that be coming on, that's why I just rock with it. I don't care if you be, say right now, it's 9 people. If I could just get one person, right? Just one of y'all to rock out, right? That's a lot. You understand what I'm saying? Because then what if that one is prolific and they go out there and make 9? And then all those 9 make 9. And all those 9s make 9s. Somebody said earlier, each one teach one. Queen Divine Ash. Oh no. But see, you gotta stop asking questions with that name. You gotta change your name. Dred Scott v. Sanford ever actually overturned? I mean, not to my knowledge. But see, you gotta realize with this stuff that goes through the Supreme Court, right? You gotta get another case to go through the Supreme Court. Like, that's just the way the Supreme Court works. Like, I'm not a lawyer. I can't explain it 100%, but this is what I'm saying. You got all types of codes and statutes that get passed throughout the country. Like, as an example, right, I'm going to use the stop and frisk that just came up recently, and it went to the Supreme Court, and they said it was unconstitutional. But somebody has to have a case that rises to that level. That was even the case with civil rights. Like, when Brown v. Board of Education, it wasn't just the little girl Brown. It was a group of kids. And they had picked some particular kids that excelled educationally. They didn't have no behavior problems or anything. It was a group of kids. And being that her name was Brown, the B alphabetically came first from all the other names. So that's how it became Brown v. Board of Education. But I'm saying they had to have the case of some particular kids who was qualified in every other manner. So what's the problem? So then, once they kept trying that cases through whatever levels, it rises to the Supreme Court. So I don't know if anybody's ever, certain things that's in the Constitution are not just going to change. Somebody has to actually bring a case that challenges that. Because Dred Scott was a decision. Dred Scott wasn't really the law. Dred Scott was a decision that was based on the law of original people only being 3/5 of a person. Infinite Mind said he just came back from China. King Green said, but at the same time, we have to learn from the youth as well as teaching them. As I learn, they're learning. That's peace to me. No. I don't learn from them. I mean, don't get me wrong. My mind is not closed. Like I said yesterday, look, if you get to the point where you feel like you don't want to learn no more, you can't learn no more, just go ahead and die. Because it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Everything is constantly changing. So once you can't learn no more, how you gonna deal with the change? So once you can't learn no more, just go ahead and drop out. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, what I'm telling you is, look, once you give them what you give them, man, who they got to teach is out there. Let them go do what they got to do. Let them go blend in. You understand what I'm saying? Let them go do what they do. See, it's like this. My father, right? I was a cipher that he added on to his knowledge. I could never add him on to my knowledge. But now I got a son. You understand what I'm saying? Like, son, you can't pay some things back by giving it back to me. I can't pay the brothers back that gave me the knowledge by giving them back the knowledge. I pay them back by doing what I'm doing and building with y'all, man, and whatever other people I build with. Ask them. That's when they happy, man. When they see me bringing those kids around to school, yo, they be mad happy, God. That's their enjoyment. That makes them know that they did their thing. Anybody with kids, they'll tell you that, man. Look, it ain't because it's when I see you out there doing your thing. But you're right in terms of focusing on them. And in terms of, if you mean learning from them, in terms of letting them lead the way, letting them see, because look, we can't just tell them what we was interested in. Like right now, you know, when my son play video games, right? If I show him, look, this is Space Invaders, he'll be like, yo, listen, man. That's good to know the history and all that, but I ain't playing this, man. Don't get in their way. Don't get in their way. But I don't try to learn from them because they crazy, man. I try to listen to the music that my kids listened to one time. They played some of their music for me. I lost a certain amount of brain cells. So I let them just do them. I don't put them down. I lift them up. God said he just came back from China. What you was doing out there? You was out there studying with the top monks. The top monks. Yeah, where's Saeed, man? He know he hear me. Who else is in the room with us in here, man? All the Masonic people. Forget Saeed. Let's get back to what I was saying. Right? That look. Defining civilization. And what I mean by the way we deal with or the way I prefer to deal with politics, right, is by actually just doing the things that I feel need to be done in order to uplifting people. I mean that's politics. And that stuff counts just as much as your vote. Like you showing that you a sovereign people. You showing that you can actually take care of your own people. Like this is what I'm saying. Anybody that's in New York City, right? You got smells good. What's going on? Yeah, it's Masonic people, man. But I'm saying when you providing like what the government do? Look at the departments they got. Department of Education, Department of Health, Department of State, Department of Defense. You gotta have that built up. That's what I mean by being civilized. I mean be your own civilization. Where when people come and talk to you, they know, oh hold on. Where's the captain? I need to talk to the leader of this here because this is something that's going on. I know I can't just run roughshod over that. At the very least, I got to build a trading post with these people. Because they already too civilized. You can't just break them down like that. Holographics, what's going on? I remember holographics, you got one of the questions right. I can't remember which one. He said the best thing to do with the youth that listen to music that they like and you don't is ask them without judgment, why do you like them? And just listen to their response and build from there. I mean, I just let them do their thing. Like, let them do their thing. Like, I'm not going to understand it. I'm not gonna understand it. It's their time. When say Allah come in his own good time. Yo, listen. When your time is over, pack it in. See, like out there to be standing on the corner, just now, my time for that is over, man. My time for that is over, man. It's young brothers, that's what I'm saying. It's a sad birth record, no doubt. And see, this truth have no sad birth record. But this physical composition got a sad birth record. The physical composition can't go past 6. See, listen, man, let me tell you something. I still don't trust nobody over 30. You gotta realize that that's what the young is operating on. They operating on that level. In time, they gonna come to see, right? That time and all these events is moving in cycles. But right now, you gotta let them do their thing. You gotta let them do their thing. And you know what? Like I said before, in every atom, in every molecule of air we breathe, is protons and electrons, positive and negative. They're going to do some things you don't like. They're going to make some mistakes. But it's their time. It's their time. You have to actually, listen, guy, you got to trust your teachings. Did you teach them right? Did you teach them right? So if you taught them right, now it's on them to do the right thing. They our babies, guy, and we always gonna love them no matter what they do. But at the same time, let's not mistake it. You know me, mathematics worked out for me. My young, they at least took heed to that. You know, nobody been stabbed, nobody's been shot, nobody went to jail. You know what I'm saying? College brothers is producers, all of that. You know, look, I love them. But once they go out there, you gotta trust that you showed them the right thing. Or you gotta be wary because you really wasn't teaching. You gotta be wary because you really wasn't teaching. And you concerned that they're gonna get caught up. I mean, yeah, of course, man, we gonna be concerned with their well-being and all that and mistakes that they might make. But it's their time. Like I'm telling you, I'm saying from my perspective, it's other brothers' time to be. Like, yeah, we all the men, we all the front line, we the decision makers, all that, you know, whatever. If we have to deal with self-defense. You know what I'm saying? Who's supposed to be shining? That's supposed to be them. John Carter said, peace to the gods and the earths. This is knowledge born of love from the land of truth. Now justice. You from Trenton? You know Supreme, man? K-Bar, when you got the knowledge, man? You know Power God and Power Law and all them brothers, man? I know the brothers out there in the land of truth, man. What's the guy name too that ran for mayor, God? In the land of truth, man. Oh yeah, Olu Graphics, yeah, Set Birth Records, you got that right. Smells good, said Peace G. How do you deal with the return to the essence of the physical body of our parents? I'm kind of funky on that topic. You might not listen, man. I ain't with all that extravagant. You can do something extravagant for me? Do it now. Don't give me no $10,000 funeral. Give me $10,000 now. Well, look. I pay for my own joint. I already paid for my joint. Look, if y'all want to do a party, that's on y'all. But the people are already there. You get them the paper, then they cremate me, and that's it. That's already taken care of. Don't waste none of the money. Don't waste none of it. Listen, man. If you want to do whatever you was gonna put on me, put that on your babies. Put that on the future, man. I'm saying that's how I see it. You ask me how I see it. Don't spend no money on the dead. Don't. The dead bury the dead, man. What's my take on time, space, and degrees of knowledge being equivalent? Listen, man. Right now, I'm in the midst of mastering this planet right here. I'm in the midst. Look, I ain't even mastered New York City. We on here right now speaking on, just the rudimentary elements of just the idea of what a government for us would be looking like. Not worried about time, space, and all. Y'all. See, when you deal with Egyptian civilization, at least the way they say, I'm not saying, but the way, look, it had to develop slowly. First, they had to just master the Nile. They had to just master the agriculture, just feeding themselves in that area before they could get to the level of building pyramids. Time, space, and the knowledge. Oh, you haven't been living in now justice for about 30 years. Well, yeah, those. So what's my man? Kareem. Kareem and Yakimo, the firstborn. You gotta know them. Born Savior. Bill Bourne. Yeah, you gotta know K-Bar. You gotta know Yakimo and Kareem, man. You should be in what they call it, clots. You should be in clots. I should be over there. Straight State Street, Passaic Street. Yo, where's Saeed, man? Can somebody hit Saeed, man? We got some more Masons entering the room. So for all the new people that's entering the room, what I was talking about at the end of the day, right? Or what I was talking about, or what this, is the end of the last live, right? What we left off is how different nations apply different ideas according to their law. According to their law and their principles. Like, see, welfare is socialism. But in America, they apply it through the principles of democracy and capitalism. You understand what I'm saying? Or like I was saying at the end of the post, right? China got capitalism, but they apply it through the principles of communism. Instead of America that applied capitalism through the principles of democracy. Whatever we apply, we got to apply through the principles of supreme mathematics. And we got to use that to take care of all our needs as a people. That's what being civilized is. That's what a civilization is. When you got a group of people that's together and they can handle all they needs, then that's a civilization. That's something that they can find. That I'm saying, when that's an archaeological find. When they like, oh yeah, this is what the people ate. This is what the people, all of this. Oh, these was their warriors. When they could put their whole society back together, they said, oh, this was a civilization. Like autonomy, it's not just a word. It's self-sufficient. And I'm not saying that the government or whatever is our parents, but their relationship to us is in that type of mode, right? When do you start giving your children freedom? For those people that's have children, when they show they can take care of themselves, that's when you start to respect that, yo, you know what? I can't tell you what to do no more. That's what I mean by being civilized. Let me tell you something, man. There's certain things that you say, right, that you're negotiating. Most people, they not going to negotiate their own death with you. So if you got people that survive off of oppression, there's no negotiation about this oppression. Like, zebras ain't never going to negotiate with lions, right? And the lions make an agreement that, yo, you know what? We ain't going to eat y'all no more. Since y'all been out here on the Serengeti from the very beginning. Y'all was out here, y'all was out here with us. No, because the lions survive off of eating them. And the first law is what? Self-preservation. So to me, anybody trying to negotiate is being passive. Otherwise, like I said, you talking all this smoke. Are you really prepared for it? See, look, that's what the 5% been doing the whole time. From when Mayor Lindsay came to get us to stop the riot. Is we trying to tell people, look, man, you talking all this smoke, but you ain't really ready for it, man. When the hammer come down, you gonna run. You mad enough right now to break a window and take a big wheel, but when the police come, you gonna run, son. You ain't ready for that smoke, so you might as well stop. See, that's what, look. I'm talking about just, let's take it down to just a city science level. Let's take it down to just a city science level, man. Yo, look. I might be in one situation and I might tell you, look, I got a problem with somebody over there, right? Look, I just need you to just hold me down. I'm gonna handle what I gotta handle. You ain't gotta do nothing. But if it's a situation where I'm like, yo, listen, man, this is a situation like, yo, this is a situation. Yeah, I need some assistance, but I'm telling you, this is situation, son. When we get over there, it's going to be serious. I'm not going to lie to you, man. And I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that, oh, yeah, we just going to rush the Citadel, and beat these people in the head and take over. No, that's not what's going to happen, son. And a lot of these people talking all this smoke, they ain't never been. Listen, man, I didn't have people had to save my life, man, from situations with the police, man. And I'm telling you that, listen, man, look, we get to the level where, look, we tussling. But there's like 7 of us and like 30, 40 police. So The guy I'm tussling with, all of a sudden, all these other people came, and as they grabbed my arms, right, I feel my arms going back. So it's about to go real bad right now. I can't defend myself at all. And right then, the guy came out. Started dropping signs on them and backed them down, God. Word is born. They left after the guy finished dropping signs on them. He came out and said, yo, man, what y'all doing to my little bro? Man, get off of him. But I'm just saying. Luke Cage. Peace to God. John Carter said, if the brothers are still active, I'll meet them because I started to attend the parliaments out there now. Yeah, I didn't know about the parliaments out there. But yeah, the brother I was talking about that ran for mayor, he probably got something to do with that. He's real active. You know what I mean? K-Bar, he in New York now. Supreme Man, he comes in the lives. So, you know what I mean? Y'all might come into him. Smells Good say, yeah, that's not going to happen. What's not going to happen, Smells Goods? All right. Divine El Lavi, you talking crazy. Luke Cage said, what's the difference between a Muslim son and an original Muslim? Now, the Born Degree tells us what a Muslim son is. Smells Good says no negotiations between lions and zebras. Yeah, it's not. It's not gonna be like, see, look, you can't negotiate equality with somebody that's living off your oppression. You cannot negotiate. I mean, you can get closer. I'm not saying don't deal with it. Like I said, all these different things do have to be dealt with. I can't sit here and say that I haven't enjoyed the benefit of political advancements that's been made. But like I said, you know, we've made our contribution too. In almost every walk of life out there, there's people that used to be 5%. We the wholesalers of righteous people, man. We the connect, man. Any community you go in any type of conscious blackness, there's 5%ers, or people that used to be 5%ers, is people that they first introduction to the high sciences in life was through the 5%. John Carter said, I'll make sure we build in person at the next Universal. Yeah, well, K-Wall be there. If you had the nine since 89, K-Wall probably know you. Yeah, but see, Luke Cage, getting back to your question, right? About when you deal with Muslim and Muslim son, right? Now look, this is also related to Son of Man in the lessons. See, if you notice, we always write S-U-N of man. But Elijah put S-O-N of man. But we never put Muslim S-U-N. We always leave it Muslim S-O-N. See, the son of man is, or any son of the original, is exactly that. A son of the original. So see, like when Allah took the skunk out the lessons, right? When he took the skunk out the wisdom degree, what he said? The devil is our son. So if he got a skunk in him, he had to inherit it. And we don't got no skunk in us, so he can't have no skunk in him. But anytime you dealing with the S-O-N, you dealing with something that came from the original. Because it also say, do you mean to say that some of them do not know they are original Muslims? So it don't mean that it's saying that, oh, these are the first Muslims that came here off the slave ship. It means they the original black man. And anytime you see the S-O-N, that's somebody that came from the original black man. Divine El Lavi said, see, why would you even want to integrate into a broken house? Ain't no negotiation unless it's to get 40 acres and a mule. Yeah, but see, all that other stuff you talking is the same thing. We still ain't get Saeed in here. Listen, somebody tell Saeed I got a promotion for him, man. Tell Saeed I got a promotion for him. He claims that we passive. Listen, he claims that we passive, right? But they put him in Southport just for having our flag. That's what he said. Now, my brother, Energetic Born, you know, he did manifest something that's true, that, listen, it's quite hard to get sent to Southport. So we'll see what he got to say when he comes on. You see, like I was saying, when we talk about the actual science of building a civilization. You see the guy, Infinite Mind, he brought up a lot of things about self-defense. Who knows things about, education? They say right now, this is what I'm saying. If we had our own land, what would we do on it? How many of y'all know how to build a sewage system? How many of y'all know how to build an electricity system? Because see, a lot of times, that's the reality too. A lot of people talking all this separation stuff, right? You know why they phony? Because you want to be separate, but you don't want to give up YouTube. And I ain't saying there's necessarily nothing wrong with that, but I'm saying, who amongst us knows how to build that system? For us. Yeah, Luke Cage. See, that's why Fard is the son of man, because he half original. That's why he the son of man. Just the same way he's the son of man, and you got the original man, it's the same thing with the original Muslim and a Muslim son. And see, Infinite Mind say a lot of guys are in the trades programs. Now that's something that, I witnessed that. Is that any skill that exists under the sun has been acquired by the 5%. Politics is how we organize all that. Politics is how we organize all that for the benefit of all the people. That's what we got to do. That's what showing civilization is. See, if you can't show you take care of your people, right? See, first of all, the first thing you start doing is asking for help with all your business. That's the first thing you start doing. You start asking for help with all the things you gotta handle. They right or wrong. Question the people in the room. Once you start making your own money, you ain't really want to ask other people for money no more. Like, I got money. I don't even want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with your, I got money.
So now, they have
That's what showing civilization is. Autonomy, tell me if I'm wrong. Another word for that is self-sufficiency. It's just where you doing what you handling your business to the level that whatever else is going on, it's irrelevant. You self-sufficient. Like right now, everybody's in their house. Or you in your apartment, you paying your rent, you paying your mortgage. The other person over there, they might not be paying their rent anymore, whatever. But look, you self-sufficient, so that's not even on your mind. Like when it hit the fan, you gonna be shocked, like, oh snap, I didn't even know. But when you going out there to negotiate and make deals, like I heard a brother say, right? I heard a brother say that Africa is the only continent that can survive on its own. Like they got all the resources that they need to and still be a modern society. Like, people would exist, but you're not gonna have all the little niceties of life. Strictly High Grade said, is the live over? Yeah, nah, your screen frozen. I'm using the high technology now. I ain't know about this page over here. Hold on. Infinite Mind said the Nation of Islam believes that is Master Fard Muhammad. Believes who is Master Fard? They think the Allah is Master Fard Muhammad. Jesus spoke of one now who will come to raise. Well, everybody spoke of one who will come to raise the dead. That's kind of. That's kind of normal for having the knowledge.
It's 1 o'clock.
Like I could tell you right now, yeah, it's going to be some people after me that's going to rock out. Quizar Quaco Leban said, I have learned that Sun is original man and SON is mankind or man-like. Your terminology, I probably wouldn't use it, but I think you got it. I think you understand what I'm saying. The theocracy of the Nation of Islam is based on the idea of one supreme above all, which is monarchy. That's kind of the unique thing about our nation. Really, that's that's kind of it's not just a Nation of Islam thing where they have somebody that's way in the past, right? Who is the pinnacle of all humanity. Like, to me, the pinnacle of all humanity is constantly being reached by whatever new people is coming in tune with the truths of all reality and living it out. It's constantly being increased. But see, that's where the limitation, that's where the oppression and the repression comes from. You know about the science of, who knows about the science of the word, right? The word chronology. The word chronology, right? Who knows what the word chronology means? See, I got too much lag time on this screen. A chronology is a timeline. See, chronos smells good, it's got it. The study of time. Chronos means time. And ology means the study of. Like, biology is the study of life. Right? Bio means life. Now, chronos is a Greek word. Right? And all right, now look, Divine Alavi put that Chronos as a Greek god. Now, that's what I was thinking about how I was going to introduce it, but Ben that she already said that, right? Now look, Chronos was Zeus's father, right? And if you remember the story of Zeus, he had some brothers that he had to free. And what was happening, right, is that Kronos was eating all of his children because he knew that somebody who was his child, he was like, Zeus became the top god of all the Greek gods. Kronos was the top god of all the Greek gods before Zeus. And Kronos knew that amongst his sons was going to be somebody that was going to take his place. So he was eating all his children. And then eventually his wife gave him some wood wrapped up in the baby blankets, and he ate it. But then Zeus grew up and ended up taking him out. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that idea that, we don't want to disturb the pinnacle of society. We don't want nothing to become greater than what we already believe in. There's also, I think, what they call the Oedipus Rex syndrome, where like a wise man or something told a king that, look, your son is going to kill you and take your wife. So he gave his son, he let him be adopted by some other people. And somehow they got into like a road rage incident. It was a road rage incident. Even though it was like with chariots or whatever, it was like some road rage incident. And the son still ended up killing him. And then in his travels, he goes and he meets this woman who's a queen. She falls in love with him and he marries her, and that turns out to be his mother. So even though he tried to avoid the young displacing him, he couldn't stop it. In the Bible, you got the story of who is it? Is it Nebuchadnezzar? No, it's not Nebuchadnezzar. Who's the king who he hears that, yo, there's gonna be a king of all kings that's gonna be born, meaning Jesus. So then he has all the firstborns. He has all the firstborns of everybody from his tribe massacred. Because he don't want nothing to displace his greatness. So that's like a science of life that we all gotta be aware of in our endeavors. That we don't, like the brother was saying, yo, listen, man, let them do their thing. Just hit them off, right? And then you have to actually be a witness of your own teachings. Like, what did you do? When they imitate what you did, right? Is it going to be the right thing? When they live out the laws that you gave them, is it going to be the right thing? Or did you give them the laws? So I let the young do their thing. But we do have to provide a structure that at least gives them an advantage towards success. And that's what I'm talking about, being civilized. That's government. Yeah, you can vote and all that. But I think if one thing is clear right now, it's always going to be some slack. It's always going to be some slack that need to be picked up. See, like in New York, any hospital, right? Any hospital or college that you go by, right? They got a wing over there that they just have a person name. That's just somebody who donated their money. You know what I mean? Like, if you in Pennsylvania, right? You see a lot of things with Carnegie Mellon on it. Those are just rich people that donated their money to the betterment, to deal with something, to govern their people and uplift their people, whoever they wanted to be uplifted. If you come in New York, you see a lot of things with this Rockefeller and that Rockefeller. Those are just private people that said, listen, I got to actually add on in whatever way. You know, if you out in the Midwest, you know, Detroit, you're gonna see things with Ford on it. Whether it's a park, whether it's a school, whatever. So now, when you come on 126th Street, what you see? A sign with a lot of justice and the 5% on it. Because we showed them we were civilized. It wasn't no other stuff. I was at the board meeting. I was at the board meeting. We went there. We spoke on the history of who we was. So everything we doing, we just got to take that to a higher level. Like sometimes, let me tell you something, man. Sometimes, oh man, Jigga 1017 in the building. Hey, look, here comes jokes galore, man. Oh man, see, Jigga 17, he already done threw me off, made me forget what I was saying. Oh man. Edward Urena in here, peace. Edward Urena, I owe you one for keeping me from a 25 to life in the belly of the beast. Had that ride to Medina resulted That's the deep science right there. That's the deep science. So many things that happen, guy, that I'm a little bit at a loss for what you're saying, but don't even go into details. I love you too. Yeah. A lot of things happen, man. We survived a lot of stuff, man. We did. I see God. I see God. Peace. Oh, Indy Red. Peace to God. You got that stuff about the wrong fools, Indy Red? We was talking. I'm still. When is Saeed coming? I'm telling you, he's going to listen. When he sees this, he's going to be upset that he missed his promotion. And I ain't going to announce it till I see him. I think I seen him in the room a minute ago. Strictly High Grade. That he was having some problems with his feed though, but I'm gonna have to find a way to post some things. Like a lot of this, and the guy, he got a newborn baby he just had, but I gotta find a way to post, maybe some links or something where you could download that. You see, like what y'all dealing with, a lot of what y'all dealing with, right? Oh, yo, Indie Red, you see Strictly High Grade right there? Y'all handle what y'all gotta handle. You see, that's something when you deal with government, right? What's one of the things that we always like when we speak on it, right? It usually it always come across like in a uh people speak on it negatively, right? But a lot of what y'all talking about is bureaucracy. That's what a bureaucracy is. Like when y'all like, yo, how do I get this? Or how do I get that? Or who do I go to speak about that? I got a community part of my page. I'm gonna get back to that. But that's what a bureaucracy is. Like you know how you go to whatever building it might be. Let's say it's the Social Security building. You're like, yo, look, I need to do this. And they like, yo, we don't got a form for that. Like there's nobody here that handles that. That's what the bureaucracy is. That's the good part of it. Don't get me wrong. They bog it down with red tape. But setting up a bureaucracy, all these different departments that you see in the government and bureaucracies, these is things to deal with the problems of the people. But like I said, they bog it down with red tape. So you need some help for one of your children for whatever the reason is, right? You need some help for one of your children for whatever the reason is, right? Okay, whatever the problem is, if they don't know, they don't have a thing, anybody that's ever dealt with this, if they don't have a particular category for that thing already, you on your own. That's what the bureaucracy is. It's a group of people that's established that they know what these particular problems are. Yeah, so you hate bureaucracy because they bog you down with red tape. But what I'm saying is that, see, a lot of these things, guys, listen, you got wisdom and you got talking crazy, guys. For everything, there's an opposite but equal reaction. That's also the two equalities somebody was asking me about a while ago. So yeah, the bureaucracy can be used to bog you down, right, and distract you to make you think you're making progress because you filling out more and more papers while you're not really getting no results. Yes, that happens. When you're dealing with an oppressive society, this is one of the purposes, or this is one of the ways that bureaucracy is going to be used. But what I'm saying is that the way you could just come and get 120 lessons, that's bureaucracy. When you got a system, right, that's set up to deal with the problems of whatever's the people. Now look, we could choose to call it a different name. And I'm saying this is what's got to be set up. See, a lot of people that's on this feed, right, they in places where they don't have access to get the knowledge the way I got it. That's what I'm saying. They need bureaucracy. That's government. Like if there's somebody, if they sick, and the government give them Medicare or whatever right now they talking about health care, that's government taking care of the needs of the people. It's not just voting. Voting is, yeah, that's participating in government. But what I'm saying is actually That's all being your own government is. Unless your goal, unless your goal, right, is to oppress people. Unless that's the way you planning on your society prospering. See, because a lot of the government that we got right now, they really goon squad. There's something about getting money, doing certain things, it tends towards the goons. Like if you listen to a lot of people, right, and they talk about the original people in certain gangs, they say, yo, nah, he was a good dude. Like, he just used to always look out for us. He was a good dude. But eventually, some psychopathic goons realized the power in what was started, and when they take over, it becomes something different. So yeah, originally the purpose of government is to handle all the needs within the group of people. Yo, look, these are the things we gonna do in order to make our equality good. And these are the things that we not gonna do in order to cause our equality to go bad. That's government. But once somebody look at it and says, yo, I could use this right here, you know, boom, why don't we go impose this on those people over there, and then we can. That's when it goes to the 10% level. See, a lot of things, you know, a lot of things is just tools. They just useful land. It's what you're choosing to use it for. It's what you're choosing to use it for. What you choose to use young minds for. What do you choose to use young minds for that's around you? So the same way you can see how, you know, if your knowledge and wisdom and your intentions is positive, that's going to work out positive. And you can see that if your knowledge and wisdom and your intentions is negative, that's going to work out negative. It's the same thing about using the principles of government. But what I'm saying is, see, me, I'm not with living vicariously through just voting. Because remember, we live in what's called a representative democracy. Meaning we vote for certain people to represent us, but they do what they want to do. That's the whole science of campaigning. They tell you, look, this is what I'm going to do. You either agree with me or you don't. But when we come together as a community and say, okay, look, this is, now that's civilization. This is what we're gonna do. This is what's not gonna happen around us. Now you show civilization. Eric Arena said, now I ask how you see these 23andMe, Ancestry.com in regards to results and interpretation of DNA. Now, I'm not exactly, you know, I don't really mess with it, but I'm gonna tell you what the flaw that I've seen in it. The flaw that I've seen in it is that you know, you got a mother and a father, right? But when they measuring what is the content of your lineage, right? They only count your father's father, father's father, 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 father. They don't count your father's mother. And they only count your mother's mother's mother. They don't count your mother's father. And so you could have one slave master in your past, and according to those 23andMe things, right, you're now of European ancestry from that one person. So to me, that's a flaw. And just also that you know, they measuring a lot of things. You know, people have done a lot of moving around. Like they could tell you how your DNA matches up to the population of people that's there right now. But there's been so many wars and migrations and people wiped out that, I mean, I wouldn't say it's nonsense. However, I do see some flaws with that system. And it's definitely not something that I'm going to be doing. Like, I'm not, even though they already got me. But I ain't, all that searching through that, it's not for me. Politics comes from the Greek. Poly means many, tic means people. That's why political contests are popularity contests. That's why the winning candidate is not always the most qualified, but the most popular. Yeah, I mean, I agree. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say, you know, no matter what, you know, it's still about what the people do. You know what I'm saying? Who the people are. Like, look, on the simplest level, right? On the simplest level. Listen. The way the police approach a private house is just different from the way they approach an apartment in the projects. Like, if you're a private house owner, when they come to your house, they be like, you know, pardon me, sir, you know, we got a call that says, you know, you having any problems today? You think, no, I'm not having no problems today. But, you know, okay, no problem, sir. You know, we got to make a call because, you know, we had to come because we got the call. Okay, no problem. Thank you. So you in the projects, yo, what's going on here? Yo, somebody, you see what I'm saying? So they hear one person inside, they rush in the door. And you know what a lot of that got to do with? The level of how they feel. No, we're not talking about my eye in here. The level of how civilized they feel the people are. When they come in the projects, they already see the people as uncivilized. They already see the people as people because look, you know, how people treat the projects. So now even the devil can say, hold up, man. Even we know how to live a respectful life and how to build a home. This how y'all keep y'all home? Y'all uncivilized. But when they see, these people as private house owners, all right, we're going to have to treat these people different. We can't treat these people the same way. But now each person, right? This is something that happens, right? That a lot of times we ask, and people are hesitant. Right? When we ask, what skills do you have? Born King on the check-in. What skills do you have to add on, right? What skills do you have to add on for the upliftment of our people? Like we gotta uplift our own people. It ain't no, listen, man. Even in the mystery sciences, the religious people, it's always something you gotta do. You gotta accept Muhammad. You gotta let Jesus in your heart. God only does, or God only helps those who helps themselves. It always starts with you. And it's the same thing with that government science. What you doing for yourself. Not what you come here and sign on this paper, what the hell you doing. They want to see what you doing, what you could do with your power. Listen, anything you get past a birth certificate and a social security card, you got to show and prove you qualify for that. Driver's license, all that stuff, you got to show and prove you qualify for that, man. Your job ID, all that stuff, you go through qualifications to get that. To get in the bank, you gotta be qualified for that. Indy Red said they treat you dirty in the hood. Yeah. You see, that's one of those things, right, of what I'm saying, that government, for me, is more important about what you're doing for yourself than who you voting for, right? Because, that's something that, when you're dealing with how the police treat us, right? This is why I don't think that could be negotiated. Because I don't see any of those things as a mistake. Mistakes don't happen for 100 years. And how many mistakes, like just think about it in your regular everyday life. How many mistakes would you let a person make? How many years would you allow somebody who claims to be trained and retrained to to do the same thing before you decided that, yo, Holmes, you doing this on purpose, man. Like, sometimes you gotta understand that, look, that is how it's supposed to work. That's not a mistake. And what I'm telling you is that if certain things, like, listen, this comes up all the time. If middle-class white women was getting shot down by the police regularly, that's not a mistake that would be allowed to continue to happen. That's the actual training. That's the actual training. Let me tell you something, man. You ever seen a situation, right, where brother was resisting the police, right? And the police attacked him, boom, they got him down, right? And then look, after they had him down, a van pulls up because they got a call that there's a problem over there, right? And when the van pulls up, right, what happens? When the police jump out, you ever seen the police said, oh, they already got him? What those next police do? They come in and start beating too, even if the person is already subdued, because that's the training. That's the training, man. See, look, I've been in organizations that's about the business before. That's the training. If we rock, you rock. And if you ain't got that personality, see, look, you either got to be with that, like you ready to beat some heads, right? Or you enough of a follower that you just gonna conform. But when you look at these situations, that's how it look like it go down to me. Like I seen, you know, a couple of times I seen, look, when one person fired, they look, when we rock, you rock. Or when we get back, you gonna have issues. And that's not something that happened by mistake. That's something that we already decided before we ever took off to go over here. If you ain't that kind of way, they gonna kick you out the academy and tell you, yo, look, nah, you ain't got the camaraderie or whatever. You know, whatever thing you fail, yeah, you fail at. But a mistake can't happen for 100 years. What I'm saying is this, right? When you look at the tapes, the videos or whatever, right? And you can look at a video of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, right? And you can play it right now. And it's all the same issues. You can play it right now and don't change nothing. It's all the same exact issues. That can't happen by mistake. So you voting for these people, right? Are you voting for somebody that's going to fix the situation? Or are you voting for somebody who's more diplomatic? You voting for a new diplomat to come in and talk to you better. See, that's what it, listen, when it says slave to a mental death and power, the power is the system of ideas. See why you think, listen, the first people who started oppressing us, right, in the 1300s, 1200s, whatever, right? The first, let's just go from America. Let's go from 1619. Those devils been died. Why we still being oppressed? Because we still subject to the system of how they set things up. And each new person they come in, they just live it out. So these little things that people's talking about, you're going to go to war with a couple people over there, that's not going to do nothing. I mean, we can handle our personal ego and our emotions or whatever. You can feel like you handle a situation. But that's not going to change nothing. John Harden Hawkins not here right now. It ain't like nothing got no better. So the things is, what could we do for ourselves? What could we do for ourselves? Like, we don't have to go through, we don't got to go through Jesus or Muhammad or Buddha or none of these other people, right, to access the truth, right? We could just do it for ourselves. That's our law. That's how we need to apply our politics. But here's the thing. And this is something that happens. This is something that happens in our community, not just dealing with freedom, justice, and equality, with everything. Is that we want to skip steps. We want to skip steps. You want to go from, all right, you made the statement that you want to deal with freedom, justice, and equality, to living Yaqub's law, to living in luxury. And you know what happens when you want to do that? You become susceptible to sell your thing out. Because you could get a hand up. You could get a hand up by selling your thing out. And now you're going to be able to floss it off. Yeah, you got all this money, but now you sold out. The foundation of what you're doing is not yours no more. You don't have control over the ideas. You don't have no power over the ideas. That's most evident when you look at industry. How many industries, right, did black people originate, right? Now, don't get me wrong. They have more of a struggle because they starting from the ground up. But then in order to get some money, right, and blow things up, what they do? They sell out to some big corporation, and then eventually that big corporation end up getting rid of them. So we got to be aware of trying to skip steps with what we doing. That's why I said, look, what skills do everybody have? We got to actually start from the ground up and not want to skip no steps. So that's what I'm saying about all the militant people you saying. See, yeah, listen. It's not going to be like the paintings of Napoleon. Like, that's a certain science of war. That when it was the Civil War, right, people showed up with their picnic baskets and everything because they thought it was going to be over quick. And with the only thing before there was actual photographs from cameras, the only thing they had was paintings of the battle. But all of the paintings was always drawn by the victors. So that's why when you see all those pictures, right, it's always the one side, whoever won, they all got their swords, and the other people was always getting all beat down. But see, when they actually, the Civil War was the first war where they had photography, where they actually showed the front line, where people actually saw, like, whoa, This ain't all watercolor. Like those old pictures we was getting. Who know how to do that? See all these people they talk on this militant stuff? How many of them know how to take care of a gunshot wound? Like, see, don't let me catch you in the hospital and you took on this militant stuff. You get cut, you gonna sew that up yourself, right? Or you got somebody that know how to handle that, right? Because that's what you're talking about when you're talking about that. And you took on all the smoke with these people. You gotta be civilized. See, look, every time, look, like, see, right now, when they go ask for whatever they ask for, right? What the people tell them? What you doing for yourself? You go to the government, you ask for help. What they ask you? What you doing for yourself? If you ain't doing nothing for yourself, you ain't getting no help. See, now everybody that's in a zone, everybody that's in a zone that comes on is that sees this. When you in your zone, you got to start actually dealing with that. And see, when you deal with that, listen, let me tell you something. They'll respect you as who you are. When they see you doing that and you tell them, listen, my name is Darkim Be Allah. They'll respect that. You ain't gotta go sign no papers. But I'm still, Born King, we've been waiting on Saeed all this time. MF the Truth said, you ever read Rules of Secrecy by Jim Mars and Behold a Pale Horse? I read Behold a Pale Horse, but not Rules of Secrecy. What is that? What's the Ruled by Secrecy? Nah, what is that about? Yeah, that DNA test stuff, man. Yeah, I mean, it's on the internet. So that's kind of, to me, like a sign that maybe you don't want to. Born King said, nah, make no mistake. They know clearly what they doing. John Carter said, it tells us in the knowledge born degree in the supreme alphabet that we are the saviors of ourselves. Yeah, man. We gotta save ourselves. You know, because look, just like we saying we ain't waiting for no mystery God to save us, right? That's what we saying. We ain't waiting for no mystery. So why are we waiting on the devil to do it? Like, sometimes we gotta look at what we saying and be real about that. Actually be a witness of what we saying. So we gonna do all that we have and all within our power, right? Because we don't believe in the mystery God, but we gonna just negotiate with the devil. Born King said, that's why I can't stand when people say others need racial sensitivity training. Those people know more about racism than the black man and woman. They created it. We as black people need the racism training. Yeah. You see, I think, Even though you know it's a line from a movie and everything, I think that's one of the things that happened. After the Rodney King riots, these new people, the devil convinced them that he didn't exist. I'm telling you. People that was around before the Rodney King riots can tell you, yo, listen, a lot of people wasn't, like if you was playing sports, you wasn't getting that kind of money. You wasn't getting that kind of money. Like they started doing things to draw people up, to give people other interests. You know what I'm saying? Like say like in the hip hop world, if you go before the Rodney King riots, dudes was rocking they African patches and Jamaican patches and stuff like that, and everything was more conscious. But after that, dudes started getting a lot of money. Now they rocking they Jesus pieces. And they start rhyming about that and they crosses and stuff. And that and things changed over. They're not understanding. Yeah, see, John Collins, right. See, a said person of that ability, because you never showed and proved no actual action. See, ability is not action. Ability is not action. There's a lot of people that's able to do a lot of things, and they're a long way from doing it. So precisely, are we said people of that ability? Like these things we saying we govern the whole universe. Can we govern ourselves right here? See, that's the real question. And don't try to run away from it by joining some other people that already got some other plan that don't match with our principles. Don't try to run away from it. Answer the question, everybody, for yourself. What can you do for yourself and your people? Your family, your community, the people who you grew up with, the people you be around that you be calling your peoples all the time. Yo, we the homies, whatever. And then after that, how can y'all connect with the people that's doing the same thing in that community, that we draw that line between each other, we connect all those dots between the true and living. Mm-hmm. But when King said Yakub wasn't allowed to see the grafted devil, his system still lives. That's what you got to deal with. That's what we got to deal with. We already got a system. It's supreme mathematics. It's applying it on all levels. It's applying it on all levels, not just the talking level. Look, that's the first level I mastered too. We all got to go through that. But just like we elevate our expectations of what we want out of life, we got to elevate our responsibility from self. See, other people, they might don't, like I said, I came around the guys at a young age. My pops had returned, so I got a lot. I got a lot out of this. So that's why I don't have no problem doing what must be done. So now, let's go back. Right? The brother brought up the knowledge born degree in the supreme alphabet. Now let's go back to the knowledge born degree in the 1 and 40. And now the elements of how I've been talking about civilization tonight, right? What happens if you don't teach that kind of civilization? What happens if you don't be civilized in that way? We beaten with the many stripes of our condition of not teaching civilization. It's not being passive. It's being who we said we are. Quiz R. Quaco Laban, difference between money and capital. Money we work for, capital, our money works for us. Yeah. Now see, that's what I'm talking about. See, this is when you get into the root. This is when you really get into the root of how things work. And then you say, okay, how can we apply that in our way? Because you gotta remember, all they did is apply everything we do in reverse. Everything we do, they apply it in reverse. And then a lot of things, because of the way they apply it, we think the whole concept of it is negative. Money is not evil. The way they deal with money is evil. You know what money is for? If we dealing with the barter system, right? Look, I don't eat onions. I just don't like the taste. Now let's say you grow onions and I grow watermelon. Now you may want some watermelon, but I don't want no onions. So now you got a choice. You could go over there, right, and negotiate with somebody who got some peaches, right, and then bring those peaches back, and then I'll trade you some watermelon for those peaches because I love peaches. So instead of doing all that, we find something that we all can make an agreement that, okay, look,
It's 2 o'clock.
we know what the value of this is, so we'll trade between each other based upon this standard. That's what money is. It's just something to smooth out the barter system. So what the brother's saying right there, you know what I'm saying? He's getting to the actual principles of it. How they actually do it. How do they value everything? How do they value labor? How do they value resources? How do they value goods? When you could do that for yourself, then you civilized. But when you only have a value based upon what they show you on the commercial and tell you, yeah, this is fly or this is whatever it is, then you're not showing that you have a civilization. You're showing you part of their civilization. And they're going to treat you accordingly. We got an EMT in here that knows how to take care of you if something happens to you. Let's, even though we don't like this stuff with these female gods. Edward Urena said, our self-Lord and Master is our government in our life. Now this public school system for our seeds with a behavioral diagnosis, the Board of Education and Health will force psyche meds on the babies. Or psych meds on the babies, yeah. Yeah, Uh, that's one of the elements of, you know, people that see the way you educate your babies, right, is also about building your civilization. Like, see, when America was an agrarian society, right, you didn't have to go to school. But when America became an industrial society, right, then they needed the people to go to school to have a certain set of basic skills to run the industrial economy and society. So America was an industrial society up until probably the late 1980s. So anybody that went to school up until like 1990, when you got to high school, you had to take shop class in woodworking because they wanted you to have the skills to work in a factory. But then, once that passed and they came to the digital age, now when kids go to school, they have to learn about computers because they want you to be trained to work in a society. Like, even when you deal with that science of outsourcing, you want to know one of the reasons why America is so susceptible to outsourcing? Is because for 200 years, the dominant powers in the world, the world superpowers, have been Britain and America. And so they've gone all around the world and spread their language and their education system. So there's people in Australia that could do your job. There's people in India that could do your job. You understand what I'm saying? Because all of these people also have your same education because we all came from the British Empire and was later affected by the American Empire. That's how important education is to building your civilization. But is that going to get taken care of by voting? And I'm not saying that voting doesn't have any impact whatsoever. Or even, look, they're about to come through with the census papers. Some of us want to sign, some of us don't want to sign. But look, that's also about resources coming into community. The more people that sign that paper, the more resources is going to come in. That's an aspect of reality. But in the end, all that's going to be is a hand. It's not going to be the whole thing. You still going to have to deal with government no matter what. You still going to have to deal with what are you going to do. Because what they going to do? Eventually, they're going to tell you, look, we don't have the money. Like, we with the program that you're saying, but we don't have the money to take care of it. Then what you going to do? Got Manola Music and Films. Lola Music and Films just came in. Oh man, I've been talking too long. I didn't know y'all got all those comments in here. Hold on, man. Let me see what y'all up to. Divine Truthful MF the Truth. Yeah, those is just individuals. These different organizations that you naming, they individuals that they taking advantage of the situation. You know what I'm saying? But they also people that, you know what I'm saying, I don't know if this is why you was mentioning them. But listen, how many people remember back in the days, right? When you should look at Sesame Street, right? At the end, they used to always say it's sponsored by the Carnegie Mellon Center and the Rockefeller Foundation. They was educating the people and what they wanted the people to be educated in. See, Cecil Rhodes, he did a lot with shaping the government in South Africa. I don't know a whole bunch about him, but I know who Cecil Rhodes is. He got to do with them diamonds. Quasar Quaco said Rodney King riots 2 days before I graduated from boot camp in San Diego. Recruits from LA were allowed to make phone calls to their family. The rest of us watched Boys in the Hood in the barracks. See? They don't care. they ain't care. Let them kill themselves for a while before we come break it up. Chicken 1017. JFK even said that. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask not what your country could do for you. Ask what you could do for your country. But he put ask for yourself, for your nation. Exactly. It takes great people. Like, yo, look, like all them people, when they talking about the founding fathers of whatever nation, you know, all the people who signed the Declaration of, Independence, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, George Washington, they all took up a responsibility. They used to have meetings in, what they call pubs. It's something like a bar. I'm not exactly sure what the difference is. You got to ask somebody from England. They know. But they used to have these meetings in these pubs. Like, right now, people drink Sam Adams beer. Sam Adams was one of the founding fathers. They should meet in pubs. He's from Boston. Or Massachusetts somewhere. And as they was having these meetings, different people took up the responsibility to do certain things for their nation. Like Jigga 1017 was saying. So all that other stuff, look, I'm not saying don't do that. I'm not saying don't vote, because actually, let me tell you something. That's really part of the science. We really supposed to be voting. That's really how it came to me. I'll just have my, I went through so much with the government that I just didn't want to deal with that. I'm saying in conjunction with dealing with all these other sciences, what we going to do for ourselves? That's being civilized. Can I build on the effect of the towers falling? I mean, I'm going to tell you something. On me personally, I, Well, actually, no, that's something different. The towers falling is not. See, the attack kind of rocked me because the way it happened, like I had just woke up. And at that time, my routine, I used to wake up and then wake everybody up, and the kids used to go to school. And then I used to go back to rest. So that, it's like 8 something in the morning. So they just left to go. And as I'm laying back down, I'm seeing this thing on TV, and I'm like, yo, that's wild, man. They doing some type of movie or something. They showing some type of movie thing or something. And I'm looking at it. And as I'm looking at it, the second plane came in. Boom! Yo, my G. I jumped up. Like, yo, wait. This is real? I'm getting ready to go to the school. I'm about to be like, listen, we gotta go. Yeah, I ain't know. And then I saw the Pentagon, like, oh, nah, see, something else is going on. So in terms of the actual event, when it was happening in real time, it was like, yeah, I was thinking, man, how are we going, and at the time, I'm resting on Manhattan, so I'm thinking, how do I get out of here? But in terms of it falling, I mean, effect on who, man? It ain't like I'm from New York. Look, a girl that rests on my block returned to Essence, that affected, everybody around there. But I'm saying in terms of, I wasn't getting out the World Trade Center already. You know what I'm saying? It's like if somebody finished, they play the fool. I mean, I saw that happen, but it didn't really have no effect on me. Or maybe, you talking about something else on how did it affect the national scene or the international scene. Jasim C5. What's that question you had, Jasim? You had a question earlier. I can't recall what it was. Oh, you gotta chill with your comments here, Divine Lavi. If I had to kick you out. Child labor laws. Jasim C5 mentioned the child labor laws. What you was mentioning about the child labor laws? Jason Rosario TV, you in here? Yeah, Jigga 17. Jigga 1017 said, true, I outsource a lot of my work to virtual assistants in the Philippines. But yeah, because Philippines became an American colony, they under a little different status or whatever, but all that was a part of the Spanish-American War. And the Spanish was still ruling the Philippines at that time. So the same time they got Cuba and they got Puerto Rico, they got the Philippines. So they have that training that Jigga 1017 was talking about, that he outsources his work in the Philippines. Jasim C5 says, can you build on gerrymandering? Gerrymandering is a tactic within a strategy. You know, within every strategy, you employ many tactics to achieve your goals. You know what I'm saying? But you have a basic strategy that you follow. You know what I mean? Gerrymandering is just another way of, controlling the process. It's just another way of controlling the process. You know what I mean? There's no secret thing to it. You know what I mean? That's actually, the science comes from the Roman Empire. They was the ones who started that, of controlling how many people was put together in a geographical area. Like, they was the ones who invented that. Look, when we conquer this area, right, and we make this a region, we make sure to include rival groups, so that these groups will spend so much time fighting each other that we won't have to come back over here and defend this part of the realm. They're not going to attack us because they so busy fighting each other. You see what I'm saying? And that same tactic was employed in Africa. Like, where you see today, where you have all these countries with rival tribes in them, that's not by accident. So controlling the population. So you gotta remember, the devil got a lot of ways to control people. First of all, because it's a part of his upbringing. You controlling how people have savor, equality, and known, you got a lot of control. If you controlling how people have savor, equality, and known, you got a lot of control. So you could have a country like England, that when you look on the map, it's a tiny country. Control a country like India and China at the same time. Huge countries with multitudes of the times of population, because they got all these ways to control people. And gerrymandering is just another one of them ways. King Me in the building. Education is the first step to building a nation. And that's why the Lord said he came to teach the babies. See, like I said, that's what we do. We teach the people. We the first step for a lot of all these righteous, conscious people. We the first step for them. We the ones that show them, man, that is the truth out there. And then when they find whatever is the truth, that they resonate with, or whatever is the thing they resonate with, then that's what they go to. But that's what we about. Master myself. Peace to Master myself. The first time I seen you in, he said governor level down, state politics, in my opinion. I mean, I see what you're saying. Don't get me wrong. I definitely see what you're saying. But what I'm saying is this. Their whole system is designed to work together. Their whole system is designed to work together. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, the education system is designed to work with the prison system. So you can do prison reform all you want, but as long as you got this criminal factory over here that's not educating the people, guess what? They're still going to be full. So, in terms of the people that's going to take it to that level of dealing, see, because look, in everything you got liaisons. Now, you ain't never heard, the top general from America had a meeting with the top general from Iran. No, that's for the diplomats. That's for the State Department, man. That's not, listen, man, if I see you, it's you see what I'm saying? Everybody got certain people in a nation that is designated to deal with certain things. What the Department of Defense do is not what the Department of State do. What the Department of Agriculture do is not what the Department of Interior do. So, I definitely see what you say. To deal with the people that is more, don't throw stones way over there when you got people right here that you could reach out and touch. And that's important too. That's important too, the people that we can reach out and touch. But look, we got to realize, look, how can we reach out and touch them? And how can we identify these people? And more than that, right? How can we groom our own people? They be grooming these people, man. How you think so much people in the government been in the same organizations, the same, societies? Because they being groomed. How can we groom our own people to be, to get through the education system, like we said, to go in there and master that, and then be in there and go to be able to run for office? And when you see a whole bunch of one people, right, and they dealing with something like a profession or whatever it is, that ain't by mistake. That's they made a decision. This is what we gonna do. We gonna encourage our babies in this way. Because Master myself, where you from? See, I'm from New York. See, our governor in Jasim C5 asked me the definition of true living. True living means being who you really are. See, we know what the truth is. Being true to who you really are. See, being true, living, right, is the activities of life. In the things that you're doing every day, the activities of your life. Are you being true? Like, look, you could be a true and living thug. You could be a true and living whatever it is. Are you true in how you living every day to what you say and who you say you are? You know how you, like, look, when I see Syed, I'm like, look, he's a true and living Muslim. Jehovah's Witness, they be true and living. The activity of their life is true to who they say they are. Now, don't get me wrong, you could look at it in the general terms when they say, just on the face value, there's many false gods, right? We don't believe in the mystery God, so we the true God. And we are living. Not doing no semantics. I'm talking about we walking and talking the planet. We not inanimate object, higher power, none of that. We are the living God that actually gives people salvation. After Jasim C5 said, after agricultural Hold on, wait a minute. I'm missing a lot of comments here, man. Y'all way ahead of me. After agricultural revolution and into the industrial revolution, they introduced child labor. Oh yeah, child labor laws. That way kids could go to school and get indoctrinated, right? But they made sure kids could work, right? Now see, look, and also for babysitting. Like now that when everybody's on the farm, you gotta remember the kid is out there in the field with them. But now that you need the parents to go to the to the factory to work, they need somebody to watch the kids. But the even bigger reason for what they call compulsory education, right, is that in Europe, right, Germany was probably the last state to form. Because Germany was the Holy Roman Empire. So they had a whole bunch of different Bavaria, all these different kingdoms and princes over there. But when they finally did bring their thing together, it happened like that. And when other leaders went to their country to ask them, yo, how you got the country together so fast, like your military, the patriotism, and that's what he said. Everybody here got to go to school until they're a certain age, and we indoctrinate them in a certain thing. So kindergarten means child's garden, where you grow them to be how you want them to be. You see what I'm saying? But that is correct, though, about the child labor laws. Yeah, Jashim C5 was brought up a point about the sharecropping days and how summer vacation, right, is shaped by the harvest season during sharecropping. So that's why to this day, the kids in the South get out of school earlier than the kids in the North. Because they got to get out in time to still hit the fields. Or that's the legacy of it. Word 60. I didn't even know you came in. Tribal war was the Cold War. Government troops had M16s from USA. Rebels had AK-47 from Russia. Well, yeah, that's the battle that's been going on. You've had a lot of proxy battles between these two, and at the end of the day, yeah, you can't identify who's on what side by do they have the M16 or the AK-47. That's a very good sign of who's on what side. Jigga 1017 said the Electoral College is a form of gerrymandering. The Electoral College, see, all of these different aspects of the representative government, right, is there to negate democracy. Because the flaw with democracy, right, is that the 99% could just vote to take the 1%'s money. Well, at least that's the flaw if you're rich. So So in order to stop that, they had to have all these representative forms where if it comes to that, we don't have to necessarily rule the way the people voted. So the electoral college, like he said, yes, is also in court and included in those ways that they design for a little bit of people to control a lot of people. Master myself said he was born in Mecca, currently in North Carolina. Yeah, it's a lot of New York down there in NC. A lot. John Carter said they groomed them from the Cub Scouts up. You know them Girl Scout cookies fun a lot of devils. King Me said as opposed to faking living. Alright, that's enough for you. Gotta put you in timeout. Oh, y'all must be. See, now we just getting to the part where I was talking about how we supply. We the wholesalers of righteous people, man. We the wholesalers of that. Every nation out there got a couple 5%. And they usually, in the leadership, man. We could be, I'm proud of that. But we never got Saeed in here today. When you listen to Saeed, I need you to realize, I have a promotion for you. You need to come get your promotion. You really gonna like this. So what suggestions y'all got out there? What suggestions y'all got out there? On how we remain inside the square of our principles and still elevate off of the square with our ideas. Jigga 1017 says, what's a proper response if someone is sick, going through struggle, etc., and they ask you to pray for them or a loved one? Listen, what I tell them is I'm not that kind of doctor. See, I came from those days where we used to say we was a PhD. Power to heal the dumb. Whatever's your ailment, I got one medicine for you. Supreme mathematics. If that's not going to work, you need to find a different kind of doctor. It's really, listen. For a lot of these people, look, see, like this, like I was saying earlier, look, you have to witness to what you really teaching. if they really teaching that heaven is all this better place, then what you want me to stop you from going there for? They got the witness to what they really saying. Look, I'll come and see them. And I tell them, look, I just tell them myself. I'm not going to tell. I'm telling myself, now you be all right. But in terms of that, I'm not going to be praying with nobody. You know, I'm mostly for myself, man. I stay out of those type of situations. And, you know, I just been doing this long enough where, look, I even, for my own self, right? My aunt Frances, right? She's my grandfather's brother's wife. She's my grandfather's brother's wife, right? And when she returned to the essence, right, I realized it was only one more person, right? Really, it wasn't, everybody that was left kind of knew, but it's like, yo, look, everybody that's left right now, they know I'm God, they know I'm the five, they know I'm not coming with no suit on, and all, they know that's not what I do. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't, you know, it ain't really no people that's gonna come around me and ask me that. Like, look, you know, people in my family, yo, I need you to take me over here to the hospital or whatever. I need you to take me to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, all that. I'm with you 100%. But they know who I am. So, you know, that's something that happens over time. People give up. See, like Saeed, he didn't give up yet. Yeah, people gotta stop being scared of the young. People definitely gotta stop being scared of the young. And they gotta stop writing them off. They gotta start realizing that a lot of things is misplaced nature. A lot of things is misplaced nature. Like sometimes I look at, like it'll be a situation, right? It'll be going on in West Africa, right? And it's like, yo, they being attacked by some foreign people. And it's like, yo, they can't do nothing to stop it. And you know what I be thinking? That's because all your warriors is in Compton, in Chicago, and Detroit. That's where your warriors is at, man. And your warriors is over here not understanding their nature and attacking each other and doing all types of, but that's just a nature that's being lived out in them. Because, you know, when you're dealing with things where, you know, for thousands of years, if your father was a fisherman, the son was a fisherman, the grandson, the great-grandson, you know what I mean? There's fishermen all the way down where if somebody decided to go be a planter, hey, what's wrong with you, man? We fishermen. So you got people that have generations upon generations of generations and generations of being warriors in them. And then you set them down in this hostile situation. They react how it's natural to them. You know, that's what they doing. That's what's happening out there. See, I'm tell you something. I'm not of an old mind. So I understand the young. I understand. I used to be a kid. Asking myself, so I personally don't vote nor advocate it. A voter registration say to them, I'm with their system. The driver's license can do that too. I mean, You also gotta just look. We the 5% on this poor part of the planet Earth. That means we gotta deal with certain things as they are in this poor part of the planet Earth. Like there's a lot of things that look, you gotta realize that time is money, man. You know, arguing over a whole bunch of stuff when there's a whole lot more that's more important that can be accomplished. Sometimes you gotta just take that road. You understand what I'm saying? You know, I don't vote either, but I don't, you know, like I was saying in the last live, you know, we don't gotta destroy people that's trying another method. You see what I'm saying? Like anywhere we going, you know, like look, if I'm going down south, I could take 95, I could take 1 and 9. It's just different routes. But as long as we can agree that, look, we getting to the same destination. So that's why I said, look, for those brothers that's diplomatic on that level, that they keep themselves informed on that level, right? Let them vote. See, I'm the type of person, I deal with little kids, so then I can say, all right, boom, this kid right here, they, you know, they display the type of particular intelligence where they might thrive in that political setting. So take this kid and put him in a certain level of education and groom him to go and be able to do that, and then come back and govern in a way that's positive for his people. It's all politics. Sugar 1017 said, when I had my stroke, I kept getting frustrated when people were saying they were praying for me. I'm like, why? I messed my own self up. I mean, that's the signs of, that's what I'm saying, witnessing who you really say you are. When you realize that whatever happened with me started with me. Whatever happened with me started with me. And no matter what you do out there, if I keep doing the same thing, I'm not going to get out this situation. See, other people, they break right down right then when things go bad. But see, that's being true and living. When you really saying that, all right, listen, man, I don't need you praying for me. I know what I need to do. And mine is going to power over this. That's it. That's a high science right there. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's a reality. When I was saying, yo, listen, man, you're going to be tested by life, man. That right there, that's a high science than any degree anybody's going to ask you, man. That's a high science than anybody asking you to show and prove what you just said. To show and prove that mind really powers the body, man. And I can come back from that. That is a high science. John Carter said, stop complaining about I understand this generation. I don't rock with cats who talk like this. I call them chumps. They would tell you he don't know what's going on with these 22-year-old men. rocks, but it's kind of because they know they haven't been doing no teaching, and they know they're not going to be doing no teaching. So that's a good way, right, of getting rid of your responsibility in what's going on with them. So for instance, right, as soon as they classify a school, right, they say, yo, this inner city school has problems, right? The students there is not passing. See, as soon as they qualify it like that, they telling you, well, look, it's not our fault, man. These kids got problems. These kids got problems, man, in the house, man. They in the gang. It's not us, man. We not the reason they failing. So I'm just saying that, not speaking for every individual that make that statement, but that's your way of negating that when they was coming up through the stages, you was too busy doing whatever you was doing to lend them any kind of guidance. Because no matter how hard-headed they is now and arrogant, if you older than them, at one point, they looked up to you. At some point, they looked up to you. And something made them come to have that hate for you. Or whatever, you know what I mean, that now you don't want to deal with them. He said, hey, they don't want to do with no 22-year-old brothers. They can tell you everything about these 22-year-old girls. How do I see a fast supplemented with NaCl, what's that, salt and potassium and chloride? I mean, if you're gonna do one of them crazy like 15-day fasts or something where you need all that, but I'm not. That's a little bit above my pay grade with the dietary law right there. Yeah, I'm still up. Infinite Mind got a lot of people in the room. We having a pretty good cipher. See, that's what y'all call a bill. I call a cipher. Yeah. When y'all say, yo, guys, nice bill. See, I say, nah, that was some supreme wisdom that you manifested. But that's one of the things that happen. The way y'all use the language now, sometimes y'all throw me off. Sometimes I feel empathy and don't want to come off harsh or callous, even though they know I don't rock like them, so I don't know what to say to them, even when they ask me to pray for a test or a job. That's what Jigga 1017 said. You gotta find something. You know what I'm saying? Like, when people is dealing with you sincerely, like, look, it's people who walk up and they say Merry Christmas. I don't say bah humbug. You know what I'm saying? Like, the person, they trying to show their equality the best they can. The person, they got love for you and they want your power. You understand what I mean? So it's not a matter of, you gotta find something. That's just the signs of being God. You understand what I mean? Just like every person who come around you and you teach them, right? Everybody don't need the same thing. Some people already know all the black history. They already know all that. Some people already came, you know what I'm saying, from different backgrounds where different things they may not have to know. And as the teacher, you gotta, that's your job. So these particular people, you know what I'm saying, I don't know them, you know what I'm saying, I don't know where you rest at, because, you know, different places where you be at, people is a lot more religious, or different families, people is a lot more religious, you know what I'm saying, but what I can tell you is that these people deep somewhere in the misunderstanding of their mind, they bear witness to who you are. And they want you to do that thing that you do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know you personally. I don't know what that thing is that you do. But I can tell you, look, if you brought yourself back from what you said you went through, they want that power, God. And as the best knower, you're going to have to figure out a way to give it to them. They need it. Especially you saying people asking you to pray for a test or a job and all these things. They want to be down, but they don't know how to ask, God. Word 60 said, hope is not a plan. Exactly. A plan is a plan. You know, what you gonna do first, what you gonna do second. What are the hurdles you might encounter, and what you gonna do, how you prepared to deal with them. Plans start with a lot of questions. And when you can answer those questions, that's when you start executing. Master myself, you got that right about the fast. Mind over matter. Jiggy 1017 said, I don't vote either. Why does that not surprise me, Jiggy 1017? I don't vote either, but advise those who do to pay attention to the judge and prosecutor seats as well, and stay in touch with your candidate of choice. If they lose, get involved, don't just vote. That's what I'm saying. You gotta be, if you trying to do this politics thing, he's 100% right there. I agree with that. If you trying to do this politics thing, right, nah, it can't be that one day that you go in there on November 6th and you press that button, and then now you think that's it. See, that's what a lot of these the young brothers, they got all these different political movements. That's what they about holding people's feet to the fire. We elected you because you said you was going to be about this. But you didn't do nothing to show and prove that. Yeah, see, look, that's a good one right there. See, John Carter says when he deal with the religious, he kindly responds with peace and blessings. Yes. Yeah. That's masterful. Yeah, Master myself said, come to the people as the people. Indy Red said, when you fast, do you stop smoking as well? If it's your first fast, I would. But when you fast, look, at certain times you can fast from smoking and not be fasted from eating. Fasting is whatever you dealing with the excess that you have to fall back and show and prove you can master. Blair and Snotty came in.
It's 3 o'clock.
Jigga 1017 usually tell him I see greatness in you. Yeah. But that's the whole, if all these people see greatness in themselves, Harriet Tubman, she broke the bank with that statement. When she said, look, I could have saved a lot more slaves if they just knew they were slaves. That's one of my favorite quotes in the history of time. You see the greatness in them. But they worship in something they cannot see, invisible. And some people, they still burn it down. Some people still do. But almost everything in life that you deal with, man, trust me, it's a time you can find the fast from it. It's the time you can find when you need the fast from it. Because all those things is factors. See, like, even when you say how you do it to 85%, how many people thought of that? Like, look. Whatever you're doing, right? When you're dealing with the community, you got to save all the people, all the human families, right? So get to your point, Jigga 1017, like you were saying, look, you got to find a way to deal with all the people and handle all the people's needs. Like, I'm not sure if that's the reason why you brought it up, but that's a part of government. Like, see, when the Moors was ruling Andalus, or when the Muslims won Jerusalem, right? In the Crusades, they made agreements on how they was going to deal with the other people. To where when you go in Jerusalem, right, even though we think of it as a Jewish city, but there, look, they got the Jews, the Catholics is there, the Byzantine, the Eastern Orthodox Church is there, the Muslims is there, because these agreements was made, right, for everybody to be able to come in peace. So it's the same thing with, each of us in our life, we building a civilization. The people who come amongst us, they, even at that certain time, people come amongst you, they know to come around you a certain way. All the different people. They a part of your civilization that you building. And so you gotta know how to let all them people come in peace. Up in here. See, I'm out there. I got to go. I look at this time. Yeah, now I gotta get up tomorrow and make it to the class. I gotta wake up tomorrow and make it to the class. Right, yeah. See, eventually, when you say peace to the people, yeah, they gonna say peace back. Exactly. Cause you teaching civilization. See that's what I'm saying. With everything what you doing, the evidence is there of who you are. Blaming Snotty says you have an understanding that I need. You apply the lessons historical and in a particular sense of everyday life. Yes, that's how you supposed to do it. See, because you gotta use lessons for everyday life, right? Because look, all those books, right? Whether it's the Bible, the Quran, 120 lessons, all that stuff in there already expired. All that stuff already happened. Ain't none of them people even around no more. Some of them nations that's being spoken on don't even exist no more. So we gotta learn what does that mean to us? See, that's why I wish Saeed, when he came in here today, so I could ask him, what could the Sunnah do? What could Rasul do to help us right now? See all that bombing people, man? That's for the 10%. See, like I said earlier, man, we not about militancy. We not about nonviolence. We about self-defense. If something happen, yeah, we handle what we gotta handle. But that's not what we here to do. We here to build people up, not breaking people down. Like, I know about that concept in the military where they say you gotta break somebody down and then build them back up stronger and all that, but we ain't playing mind games. We here to build the people up. Like, see, people look at that as a bad thing. You know, people say, look, yeah, you know, it just got dollars for protection. Yeah, we protect you. If you weak, we make you strong. You know, you not as fast mentally, we'll give you knowledge. We build the people up, we'll break the people down. Mathematics is the problem solver. That's what mathematics is used for. We don't give people more problems. That's how you measure who's God and the devil. See, some people, they cause problems for themselves. See, like, not to harp on you, Jiggy 17, but just to say, that's what he was saying. That listen, he brought those trials and tribulations on himself. And just like he knew how he got in that situation, he knew how to get out. He knew what he applied to get in there, and he knew what he had to apply to get out. So let me tell you something. A lot of things that happen ain't happen because people ain't know their lesson. You know what happened? Because people was lying. If you know with anything else, like look, say somebody owe you some money, right? Say somebody owe you some money. And you just keep asking. It's like, how I come to a point where you like, yo, listen, man, I'm tired. That's what a lot of people don't realize. Like that was, listen, you talking about after a series, like for months, we've been telling you, yo, listen, man, if this ain't for you, right? Just bring the lessons back. Just give it back. No, God, I'm a study God. Yo, God, I'm renewing my history, God. Son. Now you playing with it. You playing games, man. It wasn't just bombing for the sake of bombing, but it was the military training of men. It wasn't an exercise in basket weaving. But that was a part of it. Showing you how to be a man. And stand for the truth under pressure. It was the greatest thing, man, for those that did the right thing. But sometimes, certain aspects of it, because that's the sexy part. It's more exciting to talk about that. Yeah, see, Master Myself, that's one of the greatest. A lot of people don't know that, Master Myself. You just hit something on the head. Did you know that a valid answer is I don't know? Like that's a valid answer. Just say you don't know. Like that came up yesterday about the 7 characteristics of a wise man. That was one of them. A wise man always admits when he does not know. Because that's what happens, just like in any other case. Individuals that's constantly violating the system. That's the term. Individuals that's constantly violating the system is what people get the idea that this was just on contact. And then other people get the wrong idea, and you go out there and you're trying to impose that on other people. But see, you gotta look at a lot of things about, our history too. Like in our history, look, our founder got shot twice. Got shot up twice. Not like he took two bullets. He had two different. So we need to examine who's coming amongst us. And we serious about that examination. So y'all, I'm gonna sign out to the morning when I come back with the Graceful from Malik. Yeah, that's the big bro right there. What about Graceful Malik? I got some papers in here from Graceful Malik. Graceful Malik was the first brother that showed me pictures of a place in Turkey called Cappadocia, where people actually build their houses into the hillside. Like they houses, there's a mountain or a mountain range that a whole civilization, they carved it out and they live in the mountain. When they say EU means hillside and ROPE means the road to binding, he was the first person that showed me this place called Cappadocia. It's in Turkey. I think it's Cappadocia. Graceful Malik, that's who taught you? Graceful Malik, he's his brother, I built the guy. You know what I'm saying? He told me that, he just determined at a certain point that he wanted to show and prove everything in 120. Everything. And he, you know what I'm saying? He was one of the first brothers that showed me, you know what I'm saying? Yo, look, that's how you gotta research, man. The chill though, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get some rest right now. I'll see y'all tomorrow with Haj Musa Half Original. And then I'll probably see y'all in the class. So that'll be like 6:30. Alright? Peace.